Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say good.
Hey everyone, it's Holly, and today I'm going to talk about Outlander, Season 1A. I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do this. I bought the Blu-ray Collector's Edition because I figured go big or go home. I had only seen the pilot, so this was definitely a risk, but I had an Amazon gift card, so it ended up being free to me. And this is how it came. So it came in this box set, and then it looks like this. It comes with this like little holographic thing. Does anyone else that wear glasses, like, their eyes hurt when they look at holograph? Is that what it's called? Holograph? Hologram? Holograph. I don't know. These hurt my eyes. And then it came with, this is actually the DVDs. They're not in here, but they fit in here. I actually I don't keep any of my DVDs pretty much. That's not true. Some are in cases, but most aren't because I think they break, and I don't like these where you have to like finagle them from under. I'm always afraid they're gonna break. Well, they're Blu-ray, but whatever. And it comes with like a little book with like pictures and words and things. And then it has this little placeholder thing, which supposedly you take out and put in with the volume 2 when it comes out. Just figured I'd show it to you in case you wanted to know. Whatever. And I have watched every episode more than once. I decided to do that before hold on, because that was probably loud and annoying, because get it together, seriously. I decided to watch the episodes more than once. I mean, I enjoyed them, but thought it would be a better idea to really watch them, think about them for a while. I watched a few of the special features. I mean, I'm a sucker for some special features before I did this. And initially, I wanted this to be a shorter video. Honestly, I have no issue filming longer videos, because if people don't want to watch it, then they just won't. I just hate editing long videos. But last night, I sat down and I wrote down what I wanted to talk about, and apparently a lot. It starts here, and then it goes here, and then it goes here. So this should be interesting. We'll see. I do want to say, like, to be completely upfront about it, I'm going to talk about spoilers both for the show and for the whole book. I will be spoiling the whole book because it's what I want to do. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. If you haven't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled, just bye. Sorry. Come back later. I don't know. I will say, I think I said this before, I had seen the pilot before I even read the book. I don't know how that impacted my reading, obviously, because I don't know what would have happened if I had read these before. I would never have read these books if it was not made into a TV show. I had heard of Outlander before, like kind of often, like the reaches, like I'd heard it mentioned, but it was nothing that ever appealed to me. I don't think I would have ever picked it up. But not just that it was a show that I would have just continued to walk by and not care about, but that Ronald D. Moore was attached to it. So I will not pretend to be like a huge Ronald D. Moore fan. I have not watched everything Ronald D. Moore has ever done. I have only watched Battlestar Galactica, but I freaking loved that show. I thought it was amazing. I was so involved in that show. I like watched YouTube videos where people had theories, and I was all about it. And so to hear him be attached to something like this, I wanted to know more. So yeah, just to give you like my background on me coming to the show, coming to the book. So I went into the show and the book with no expectations, but the show especially. So I have no issues with the acting, and after I watched the pilot, read the book several months later, obviously, and then watched the show. So in a way, I think my head was already wrapped around the actors. Obviously some I picture differently. Even characters we meet in the pilot, I still kind of picture differently in my head. I do that with Harry Potter too, though, so. But I will say, I think the acting and the casting is great. I have no, like, glaring issues. I will say, I think Lottie Verbeek, I don't know if that's how you say her name, who plays Gillis, is perfect. I love her. I'll talk about her some more in a minute. She's, like, my favorite. And by a minute, I mean probably a while. So let's get started. on like real conversations. The story choices. So first of all is the voiceover. I've heard a lot of people say that they do not like the voiceover. Now, I think a lot of people just are like opposed to voiceover, or maybe they're like a vocal minority. I don't know. I actually really like the voiceover, but again, I'm just the kind of person who likes voiceover. I enjoy it. I have no problem with it. I don't think it's speaking down to the audience or anything like that. And I hope they keep up with it. I've heard that the second half of the season, Jamie starts doing voiceovers, so I'm curious how that's going to work, but I don't know if they're going to continue to do it as the series progresses. I also like that when the characters are speaking Gaelic, is that right? I'm sorry, but like I was raised like Irish where everything is Gaelic, so it's hard for me. But Gaelic, how there's no captions. I love it. Of course, I would love to know what those people are saying, but it makes it more authentic, like you're Claire and you don't know what these people are saying. And a lot of times you can kind of guess what they're saying based on their like mannerisms and the way other people are reacting to what they're saying. It's kind of like watching a telenovela without any subtitles. And I also like that we get to continue to flash forward to Frank, whether it be like a legitimate flash forward to him alone without Claire, or it show us like their past together. That's something I wish we had gotten more of in the book. I like seeing them as a couple, and them being a couple doesn't make me less invested in the Jamie and Claire relationship. If anything, it makes me more invested because I buy her struggle to connect with him. So I like that. I just like that we keep Frank as a present character. I did hear he's not going to be in the second half, but there's a lot of stuff that happens in that half of the show, so it doesn't surprise me. I will say a lot of their additions and like departures and stuff from the book have made sense to me. So the women went during the rent episode where like they're working the wool and everything. I actually really liked that scene, and I complained in my book review or discussion for Outlander that there weren't enough women, like especially women with womening things. So to see a whole group of women to have, like, even if it's just for a scene, is really nice, and to see what their life was like instead of just following like Mrs. Fitz around. And I love seeing Claire in that moment. I thought that was a beautiful like set of scenes. And the Black Kirk parts as well, I thought that was a good addition. At first I wasn't sure, but upon a second viewing I like it a lot more. I like kind of seeing her struggle with Father Bane in that way, and it kind of continues her relationship with Jamie, and I like it. The last thing story related is, I know The Wedding has gotten a lot of like acclaim, the episode The Wedding, the 7th episode, and it might be my favorite. I'm not sure. I actually really like the Rent episode. I think it's amazing. I know some people think it's slow, but I really like it. I love, for television, I love slow, beautiful character pieces almost. And I feel like that's what that episode is. The Wedding too in a way, but I don't know. But what I love the most about the Wedding episode is that it's told in like kind of a non-linear way. So it starts almost at like the end, where like you would think that episode would end, and then they look back on what has happened that has brought them to this place. And I am a huge fan of that. That's like my favorite kind of storytelling, especially in television, is where like things piece together. One of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show, is Leverage. I think I've talked about it before. And that's kind of what they do in a lot of episodes, is where they like give you pieces of things, and then later as the episode continues they give you like more, and you slowly put the picture together and see everything. And obviously this isn't a mystery or anything, but it's the same kind of storytelling, and I think it's so beautiful. Characters. So this kind of goes with additions, but Rupert and Angus, favorites. Love them. Love them. Loved them when I was first watching it, but as like I'm rewatching, their scenes are some of my favorites, and especially Rupert. So like the slightly bigger one, he's the one that tells Claire like, you ask a lot of questions, don't you? I think he's a little nicer than Angus, and I think that's why I like him a little bit more. But they're both obviously like gross and like wool and everything. But I think they're hilarious. They add a great comedic relief, and I would be devastated if they died. Like, I fear for them because they're not in the books, so I have no idea. Like, anything could happen to them. And I'm so scared. I think I would cry. Jamie. I'm actually not 100% like Jamie is God, like a lot of people who read the books. I have some issues with him, but I think Sam Heughan's portrayal of him makes me like him more. Like, I like TV Jamie more than book Jamie because they are separated in my head. He brings a sweetness to him that I know is supposed to be in there in the books, but doesn't completely come across to me. So I'm really liking him. I'm curious to see what happens as the second half airs, just because, one, the beating scene I've mentioned before in my discussion video, did not like that at all. I'm curious to see how I feel about all of this when that episode airs. And I don't have stars, so I'll have to wait till it comes out on DVD unless my parents decide. I'm loaning them my Blu-ray, so maybe they will get stars to watch it if my stepmom likes it. Usually it's if my stepmom likes it. They've done that before. Like, they used to get like Showtime and HBO when shows aired that they liked. And if that happened, then I would probably I go out to their house every once in a while, so I would probably watch it. That's kind of the only episode where I'm like, and I'm assuming it's going to be the first one, where I really want to know what happens right away. If I could get stars, I would, but I don't control my cable, so I can't. But yeah, with that and then the things with Blackjack, I'm very curious to see how that all pans out. Graham McTavish, I think is his name, that plays Dougal, is amazing. That's not how I pictured Dougal at all, but like, it totally works. I love his like bald head with his beard, and he just always looks, he's such a presence in every episode he's in. And I'm so conflicted about Dougal in the books, but I'm like even more conflicted about him in the show because I'm loving what the actor is doing with the character, that I like want to like him so much, but then he does like these horrible things and I'm just like, I don't know. Oh, and then like I already said, Lottie Verbeek as freaking Gillis Duncan. I'm in love with her. I can't even. If I can get this together. And seriously, if you're still here, spoilers, like, go away. First of all, I said before that I hope Gillis isn't dead because I need to know more about her. And now that I have met Lottie Verbeek playing her, please don't be dead because I want more of you. I want more of this actress. I don't want her to go away. When she's not in an episode, I'm sad and I miss her and I wish she could be in more. When I read the book, I wasn't sure. I wanted to know more about her, the character, but I didn't know if I liked her or not. But in the show, even though I still think she's kind of shady, I love her and I'm so intrigued by her. And it's the actress. It is the actress. Her voice is so beautiful, first of all. I mean, beautiful. Like, her accent, but like the way she talks, I feel like she's like sucking you in, and I'm just like, I love it. I love it. What is that episode called? I don't know, but the one where Claire goes down to Gillis's house and the boy gets like nailed. Oh, so gross. In those scenes, she just like sucks me in. I love her. And her mannerisms, she does this thing where she'll just like play with her hair and like do these things, and like she'll like pull on her shawls and everything, and it's just like everything about it sucks you in. Basically, if she's in a scene, it's a favorite for me. Love it. Some other things, I'm loving the clothing, the dresses, I love like the kilts and everything, and just like, everything looks amazing. I want Claire's like cowl scarf thing. I can crochet, but I can basically do one type of like a traditional crochet thing. I don't even know what it's called. And I can make like a scarf. I suppose I can make a blanket because it'd just be like a really big scarf. But that's it. And I believe everything is knitted for them. But my mother knits and crochets. So I'm going to ask her, I'll buy the yarn and ask her if she can knit me something like that, because I want it so bad. And I love the music. It's like this blend of music from different times. I mean, obviously the like credit music is beautiful. I think everyone knows that, but who cares? But the music in the episodes, it's like this blend of like older music from like the 20s or something, like this interesting concoction, like just like Claire going back in time. And then has anyone else, I have not done a lot of research on this, but has anyone else noticed like all of the Wizard of Oz like illusions? So there's two I can remember, but I know there was at least one more. One is when Leary, still unsure of how to say her name, I should watch it with captions or something, when she asks for the love potion, which that's not in the books, but whatever. And Claire tells her to like click her heels 3 times, say there's no place like love. So that's one. And then the one scene where Gillis has like the red shoes and she like blatantly is like, look at my red shoes. I'm just like, Wizard of Oz everywhere. And oh, does she wear the red shoes because she's a witch? Does that mean I'm not supposed to trust her? Anyways, sidetracked by that. But I can't figure out if these are just there to be like funny, like haha, it's about a young woman who is transported to a world she doesn't understand and has to like survive and has this like gang of people that helps her and all of these things, or if it's actually supposed to be something like bigger, more like thematically or story-wise I'm supposed to be like getting. I don't know. I don't know. But yes, so those are my thoughts on season 1A. I think there was more things, but that's all I could remember, so good enough for me. If you want to talk about anything, feel free to do so down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!